Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is right there and then while you are watching this video. And welcome to our Friends series part 4. You can see our little tennis ball is back. I brought a little sound clock and we're going to get a bit uncomfortable in the beginning, and then you're supposed to, you really earned it, lie down on your back and work a bit from there. There's one thing that I like introducing whenever lying on the back is using your arms and activate the energy a little bit. So you're not just working a foot or a leg, but there's always something going on in the whole of your body. And that's very worth it, I promise. I brought a lot of stuff here. You will notice why later on. It doesn't have to be cushions like that. It can be any kind of sofa cushion. I know props are always a big discussion, but there is nothing as useful as a yoga block. It's light, it should be made from cork, not from foam.
But if all you've got is a big book or something similar, then please feel free to use that. It's better than nothing.
Yoga is all about connecting, and particularly connecting your breath with your movement. So we just take that out for a moment. You can also do these things while you're standing. It's something you can do all the time. But since we're going to lie on our back later on, I start seated. Feel free to do it standing up. So what we're going to do is we are going to inhale. We stretch our hands, reaching out to the sides as far as we can, and bring our arms up. Our shoulder blades want to slip down though, like if you had any jeans on, they would slip into your back pockets. That's your inhale. And then you turn your arms around and you're pressing down on the exhale. And really, I know it's easy to just flop, but just really make it an active movement and really like there is a spring you want to compress all the way down. And you can go with me or you can take your own duration of breath. Just make sure, and that can be quite sweet, when you stop inhaling, that's where the movement stops. So if you have a very short breath, this is where you are. Exhale, this is where you go. And then you can start adapting. You can either try and make your breath longer, if that is stressful, then speed up the movement. Inhale and exhale. And inhale, make it through your nose. Inhale. And exhale through your nose. Inhale. Exhale. And again, inhale. I've got nothing left up there. And exhale. Now we're going to stop at the end of our inhale, and then you will lift your shoulder a little bit and inhale a bit more before exhaling. Inhale. Yes, you're allowed to lift your shoulders for that little movement. Inhale. And inhale. And if you can, allow yourself a little break also after the exhale. It's stressful for some people, so you don't have to, but maybe just try once or twice and find out which one's more comfortable for you, the little stop after the inhale or after the exhale. Inhale. Hold the breath. Exhale. Keep it out. Inhale. Hold. That one will hear. Exhale. And let go. Now you're ready for the toe squat. Let me show the fundamental idea first, and then I will show the accommodation or the variation, how to make it more achievable. Come onto your knees, onto your hands and knees, and sit back onto your heels. Your toes are nicely tucked, and you can also try, my little toes very small, you can try and adapt the toes here so they're really nice and open and not clamped in. So make it a foot as wide as possible. And then you're just going to sit. This is one way of doing it. If your knees are killing you already, there are several options. You can take a blanket or a cushion and put it into the fold of your knees. Gives you a bit more space. And you can build that as high as you possibly want, because this way it's bearable. You don't have the full body load on your toes. Don't build a position on pain. If you already feel uncomfortable, then you shouldn't stay in there any longer. Some people are fine with this, but they need their knees up. Try and find a position that you think you might be able to hold for, brace yourselves, 1 minute. So now, set up everything you need for your toe squat. Come into the comfortable toe squat position. I know it sounds like a contradiction, right? But it will be one day. I arrange my toes so they're nice and open, and each one of them is touching the ground. That's an unusual position. And sit back onto your heels. Ready in 3, 2, 1, go. Yes, I know I cheated there a little bit. It was a bit too fast. If you feel you need to come out of the position, then try moving forwards first without changing your feet and the tuck of your toes. Sometimes just taking a bit of weight off the toes, off the feet, off the balls of your feet, and the shin stretch can already do a lot. And if it's really burning, inhale deeply into the burn and exhale. You are almost done and done. Gently move forward. Now everything goes slowly. Untuck your toes and then lean back and just see if you like the same arrangement. Maybe you can sit on your heels. Maybe it's the same thing. If you can't sit on your heels, many people can't for the most various reasons. Support yourself, cushion your knees. 3, 2, 1, go. And sit back on your heels. Maybe you even want to move further and support yourself with your hands. Just if the strain and the stress on the stretch on the fronts of your feet is not getting too much. If you're comfortable with that, you might even move further back and lift your knees up a little. For some people, That's unthinkable, and that's totally fine. This is just go where you're comfortable. Every stretch, every body, every foot is different. Not just between people, but in one person as well. You're almost done. You can see it coming to an end, can you? And there we go. Come out of your heel seat. And then gently move down and lie on your back. Make sure your head is in a comfortable position. And now you're going to take your yoga block or book and you put it in between your legs. And now you need to figure out which way is the most comfortable. So just make sure you're always trying to squash it in. And then you start moving your pelvis on the ground. It is a bit like your tailbone wants to come up in between your legs and wants to point up to the ceiling. And then the other direction is your pubic bone trying to come down to the ground. You bring your hands out to the side and make sure your fingers are cup-shaped. You press into there, your elbows will come up from the ground that way. And then inhale, bring your tailbone up, your pelvic tilts. Exhale, bring your pubic bone down to the ground. Still, the pressing of the fingers is always active. And again, inhale, tailbone wants to go all the way up, reach the ceiling. Strong hands pressing into the ground, you can feel it work all its way through the little muscles in your chest. Exhale, pubic bone heading down to the ground. And inhale, tailbone coming up. Strong fingers press into the ground. Exhale, pubic bone coming down. Press your fingers into the ground, activate all the little chesty muscles. And if you like, start pressing into your block as well to make it even harder. Inhale, tailbone coming up. And exhale, pubic bone coming down. Let go. Take the block, stretch out your legs for a moment, and try and feel the back of your pelvis, your sacral joint, your hips. Come back into the same position. Bring your block back. And now we're going to bring our hands down. So you put them next to your hips on the ground, still active, still pressing into the ground. And now we are going to do a little lift. That's easy, but what I want you to do is to press into the block, the book, the spacer first, and that way lift. So you've got two directions to go. You go an inwards direction and a forwards direction. So at the moment, it's your legs leading the movement and your hands cupping into the ground. Inhale and exhale. This is not super excitingly high, I know. It hardly feels like a shoulder bridge. Inhale and exhale, bring it down. But it's about what we want to achieve, not about how we want to look. Targeting the areas and exhale. Inhale, and then you can gently lift higher and exhale. You don't have to. However high you move in, move forwards. And if the rest of the body is lifting, fine. If it's not lifting, equally fine. One last time, press into the ground, head presses into the ground as well. Thighs are pressing into the block or the ball, whatever you're using. Inhale, inwards and forwards, allow your body to come up, press strongly into the ground. Straight neck, strong hands, exhale, come down. Take the block away, stretch out your legs, and just really bring your awareness to the back of your pelvis, the back of your hip joints, the back sides of your thighs. Well done. We're coming into little twists. Twisting is always to be done carefully when you had issues with slip discs or hernias in your lower spine. Ever be so gentle. Maybe you rather go into like a banana shape, which is moving your legs to one side, crossing the leg, and just allow a little side stretch with your legs and your arms pointing a similar direction, but stretching you. That is something you could do right now. If there's none of those issues, grab your tennis ball and bring it between your knees. So your head is still pointing, still pushing down, your hands are pressing into the ground, your feet, your knees are up a 90-degree angle, you've got your little tennis ball. And now you're going to move just the legs to the right and to the left, but we are going to connect that with breathing, of course. Inhale, move your knees to the right, strong hands, and your head is pressing down. And exhale back. Other side, inhale left, exhale back. Inhale to the right, strong hands, shoulders as far down as possible, exhale back. You want your upper body on the ground. Inhale to the left, exhale back. Inhale to the right, exhale back. Inhale to the left. You can see that my range of motion is changing, maybe. Just feel if you can go a bit further or not. But you still want your left shoulder on the ground when you're moving to the right. And back. Inhale to the left, right shoulder on the ground, even with your strong fingers. Exhale back. Inhale to the right. Exhale back. And always keep your tennis ball. Inhale to the left. And exhale back. Inhale to the right. Exhale back. Inhale to the left. Exhale back. Inhale to the right. If you feel comfortable and it's easy for you to get the knees almost to the ground, then stay. Don't put them down. Just leave a little bit of space in between your knees and the ground. And inhale to the left. Exhale back. Take the tennis ball, bring your legs down and stretch out nicely. Get yourself a blanket or two and give yourself some good old Shavasana. You can take Shavasana as long as you like, then turn off the video. Or you just go with me for about a minute or so. When you're ready, mobilize your spine, your shoulders and your hips, legs and knees, elbows again. And then roll on to your favorite side. And then gently move your way up into a nice and comfortable seated position. And give yourself a moment of gratitude for standing up for yourself and having your back. And then bring your hands to your forehead for a clear mind full of loving thoughts. To your heart center for a clear, warm and open heart. And to your mouth for clear words and loving communication. Namaste.